Okay, everybody, what's up, and welcome back, I guess. This is, of course, Sugi Shogun here, and today we're gonna be talking about the brand new Winter 2021 season, which, by the way, is really riddled with a lot of sequels this time. And in case you're not really caught up with any of them, which are, by the way, it's a great cast of shows, I think it's gonna be a pretty dry season for you, not gonna lie. But there is indeed a couple of new shows coming out this season, which do show promise, but that is always the same case season over season. The trailers look good, but once you actually get into the show, it turns out to be not so great, and you end up watching only two or three shows from the actual season. And today we're going to be talking about one of those new shows called Back Arrow, which is actually an anime original by Studio Voln. And the funny thing about a lot of these anime originals is that, first of all, most of them tend to be sci-fi. That's something that I've truly noticed, that we have considerably much more sci-fi anime originals like The Decadence or Psychopaths, Guilty Crown, etc. A lot of these are modern day slash sci-fi, and they are kind of also very messy. They don't tend to use the hard magic system, which I keep blabbering almost on every review these days, but hey, gotta mention that. And once again, we got a new one that is actually a mecha, and a bit of a fantasy and an action one at the same time. It's a really weird mix. It takes place or the world is surrounded by this wall. It's called Ringarindo, the world that is. So this is some type of a flat earth type of a system, and the walls to cover and protect and cultivate and nurture the land. There's waterfalls coming from the actual wall. The wall is considered the god, the foundation of this land. There are multiple nations around it, and there's this sort of a lost continent zone where this story seems to be kind of spark off from, where this mysterious man appears on this village, and basically in this sort of a pod, like a Saiyan spaceship of sorts. And these are some type of PUBG airdrops of sorts. They just land on the ground, and they have resources which people take and contest on, and that's kind of one of the main key ingredients of this whole system. And this time there's actually a man inside who will be called Back Arrow. And that's kind of the premise of this whole series, and I guess it's gonna have some type of interesting continental feuds, and also trying to understand because in the past there hasn't been any people inside these pods, only supplies basically, and there are other parties who kind of followed the pattern of the falling of this box or pod, and they are interested what's going on here exactly. And this person, obviously for the cliche, has lost his memory, and so the story is kind of I don't think the first episode does a very great job. I mean, I understand the premise here already, okay, but I mean, what is going to be the theme or the goal here? Is the person just going to be going through the wall and say that, hey, there's something out there, kind of some type of a thing, or it's just turning out to be some type of a goddamn isekai again? I don't know, but I do want to say that it's interesting visually, because there's people who are wearing very Ming Dynasty Chinese outfits. Then there are people who are wearing cowboy outfits, and then there are people wearing other types of clothing. So it's kind of a weird visual mix. Animation is not half bad. I think the character designs are also pretty high quality, considered it's anime original. Sometimes anime originals can have very bland designs and something that really doesn't stand out sometimes, but this time it's actually something kind of good. But I don't really see that much interest on the story. It is a bit refreshing in a way, but then again, it's somewhat similar to some others, but this is kind of the same type of setting but not exactly like a wall. It's like, the metaphor is a bit different. Let's just say that. But I do think it's an okay anime, probably. But then again, I'm not a big mecha fan. Obviously, I had some aspects which are not really mecha, but that's always a bit of a downside for me. Like, it has to really pick up on a lot of other aspects for me to like overlook the mecha aspects and like get interested in it. But then again, like it wasn't like overtly mecha. As I said, there are fantasy elements there and there, and maybe this kind of like a weird setting of sorts. And great opening by Lisa, by the way, also probably may make me watch a couple of episodes more. It's going to be 24 episode story, so I don't really know what's going to be happening. There's a lot of fan service here, a couple of cute girls, obviously, which people are going to be drooling over, obviously. But hey, like, that's just not going to be enough for me. So I do hope that they're going to be exploring a bit more of this setting and like showing out what kind of type of show this is going to be actually in the next couple of episodes. But overall, it's like probably going to be taking the Kemono Jihen is going to be probably the best new anime of the season altogether. But if you like mecha, this might be in your books a lot better. I mean, it does have, as I said, some original aspects there and there, which kind of make it interesting. But the way the presentation and some other aspects weren't too exciting for me to make invested to go through the whole season. But hey, who knows? I might stick around. Thanks for watching, and make sure you like and subscribe. And just stay tuned for the other season first impressions. See you soon.